Hello and welcome to Let's Play Skyrim Khajiit Bandit Chapter 2. And for those who don't know, this is Bahaik. He is a Khajiit, and he is a bandit. And these are his adventures in Skyrim, Part 2. For anyone who didn't see Series 1, I will briefly go over who he is and how he got here, and then we'll talk about the kind of playthrough that this is going to be. So first of all, Bahaik. As we've established, he is a bandit. He's not a very nice person. If you've got something he wants, he will take it from you by any means necessary, which is usually an axe, fists, bow and arrow, massive great big hammer, getting all his mates around here and ganging up on you, or just pinching it out your pockets when you're not looking. Anything like that is the best way to go about things. Now Bahaik wants nothing more than to lead his merry life as king of the bandits. He's made it somewhat of a decent-ish start. He's taken over the Valtheim Falls over here, the bridge across the White River, and he's made it his own home, full of his own loyal bandit men. But eventually he wants to unite all the clans of Skyrim under his banner, and basically rule the world from a big chair with a big crown, or something like that. It's not likely because he's a bit of a moron, but there we are. He's happy enough putting his axe through people he doesn't like's heads, cutting their heads off, punching their heads, basically breaking people's faces. It's just joyous to him. Along with that, meat, cheese, skooma, any kind of alcohol, all of that, lovely stuff. That's what we live for. That is the name of the game for Bahaik. So what is he doing in Skyrim? Well, he's taking over various bandit clans. He started here, and he overthrew the chief, and, well, went from there. Pillaged and looted his way through Whiterun Hold. Ended up in Solitude, of all places. Took him a while to get there, got very cold along the coast. He brought a couple of his mates with him, his bandity chums, but ran into a bit of bother in Solitude, ended up getting himself separated from them and captured. Bahaik managed to escape, walk all the way back to Valtheim Towers, where he'd noticed that all his bandits had abandoned him and he was left all by himself. Poor Bahaik. After that, he turned to his old chums, alcohol and skooma. He took so much of that he basically hallucinated an entire adventure, which was covered in his mini-series of Let's Play Skyrim Moonpath to Elsewhere, which I will leave a link to in the description. A couple of his mates that were in Solitude with him, they also managed to make their way back here, and there's a little video showing how that happened. I will also put a link to somewhere. But that's where we are with the start of Chapter 2. He's come around from his hallucinations. None of it was real, but he doesn't know that because, as we said, he's an idiot. And he's woken up, well, he's actually woken up on a log somewhere downstream. But Series 2 will start with coming back, getting his ground back, finding out what the hell's been going on back in this place, and then off he goes again, rampaging through Skyrim. Now this playthrough is all about survival and realism. So basically lots of mods installed, which I'll go into in a separate video, which I will also link to. They all focus on immersion, so making things as realistic as possible, and living off the land. So basically he's got to eat and drink, he's got to keep himself warm, there's hunting involved, lots of good things, because basically Bahaik cannot go into cities. Because he's a bandit, he'll get shot on sight, which is basically what's been happening in Series 1. So he's got to live off the things around him. He's got a few bandits around that go hunting, make weapons and things. But other than that, these guys are out in the wilds, living off their own means. Just the way a bandit should. And anything they can't make, they steal, because that's the way things are. So Series 2, we will be going back to his roots of exploring Skyrim, finding nooks and crannies, surviving out in the wild, bringing his bandity chums along with him, having merry wars against all the other bandit clans of Skyrim. And that's pretty much all you need to know about Bahaik. and I'm sure if you don't know him already, you'll learn all about him as you watch the playthrough. Now what I've done to start off Series 2 is I've gotten rid of pretty much his entire inventory. We've got a few weapons left, his main bits of armour, a few potions, bits of food, that sort of thing. But other than that, everything's been dumped off. He basically lost it during his hallucination and floating down the river. It's all been scattered. So he's essentially starting from scratch, which I think is always a good thing to do with characters once you get to a sort of a milestone in their journey. Start again, just dump everything, get back to basics. So that's how we'll be starting off Series 2, and we will finish up, well, who knows where. I've got a few ideas of the direction I'm going to go in, but we shall soon find those out. Now then, perks. How does Bahaik fight? What is his mindset? Well, currently we've got several perks. Now this is all part of Skyrim Redone, which you'll see more of in my mod video, but I'm going to actually reset all of his perks and start from scratch again. So I'm going to get rid of all these. I'll have, well, sort of 21 perks to choose, or slightly more I think, and then we'll respec him. So we'll do that now with my lovely potion of respec from Skyrim. Om nom nom. Do not panic, refunding perks takes time, so we'll let that happen then. And until that does, let's run around my lovely camp here. This is all my own mod, by the way. It's not been released yet, so you won't find it online until I've completely finished it, which, yeah, might take a bit of time still. Respec done! 24 perks to choose. Lovely jubbly. So let's have a look then. Now, Bahaik hates magic, so we're not going anywhere near anything magical, with the exception of alchemy, which is more sort of rustic, shamanistic, that sort of thing, which is fine for Bahaik. Now then, we want smithing, so we'll have one of them. We will also need principles of smithing, so we'll have that one. Now he was working his way to... where is it? I always forget where this one is. I think it's actually audit design, or is it... do you know what? I can't remember, but we'll come back to it. Heavy armour, no. Blocking, perhaps. Let's just get his weapons done first. Obviously we want to use axes and things. Where's the beheading perk? That's the one. That's maces. Bladesman. Critical charge. Blood price. War axes, that's the one we want. So that's 3 in there. We might come back and add some more. Marksmanship, because he loves his bow. We want focus. And we want longbow, or we want eagle eye, obviously. Steady hand. Take that one. Light armour. Now we need to invest pretty heavily in this because it tends to get killed quite easily. Custom fit. Flexibility. And what was the one just to the left here? Weak spot. Yeah, we'll take that because he fights bandits quite a lot. Unhindered. Lovely. Let's stop doing that because we need a couple more in sneak, which includes that one. Now Wayfarer, this is something we want to invest in quite heavily for the sake of the playthrough. This is all about surviving out in the wilds. So we had disease resistance. Did I have awareness? That's all about traps and things, which, no, he didn't go in for that. I think that was about it for that he had to start with. Fingersmith, picking locks and pockets. We'll have one in there. Speechcraft, we completely ignored. Alchemy, he was pretty good at alchemy in the end. So let's see where we went to. Poisons, of course. And it's just all the magic and things now, which as I said, we ignore. So let's put some skill into block. Power bash. And one more perk, which I think, did it go to quick reflexes? Possibly. Let's have a quick look. Ah yes, heavy weaponry, that was it, because he hasn't got his hammer back quite yet. But we'll start him off on that route. So I've respec'd him a little bit. He's basically back to how he started, but with a few extra perks for his axe and his bow and light armour compared to everything else. Make him a bit more survivable. As we progress, we'll get some more into sneak and wayfarer. So he's going to try and be a bit more cunning in this one, because brute force didn't really do the job for him in the first series. So this is where we shall start off. And I will see you in episode 1.